Right, in 2016, you put an outsider into the White House to lead a revolution against establishment rule. You'd had enough of being demeaned and dismissed.
It's not surprising then that they get bitter. They cling to guns or religion or antipathy towards people who aren't like them.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
I think that her only mistake is that she said half of his supporters were deplorable.
You'd had enough of America being demeaned and dismissed.
No, no, no. Not God bless America. God damn America.
For the first time in my adult lifetime, I'm really proud of my country.
We live in, a country, we love America. It's a racist country built on the boards of genocide.
That the heritage is racist and a lot of other things too.
Right.
That's definitely part of it.
It's a beautiful, bountiful, racist mess.
You'd had enough of 50 years of policy failure. Open borders, endless wars, suck up to China, the rich getting richer, workers getting screwed, jobs shipped away, the heartland hollowed out, families undermined, communities collapsed, Wall Street boom, Main Street bust, big business getting bigger, small business getting crushed, power centralized, corruption normalized, politicians the puppets of their donors, government of the lobbyists, by the lobbyists, for the lobbyists. That's what you'd had enough of. And you'd sent the ultimate outsider to Washington to get it done. So what did they do? The establishment refused to accept it. For 4 years, they plotted and schemed to overturn the election and get their power back. The resistance, the Russia plot, the impeachment hoax, the endless attempts to block and stop the policies that you voted for. And despite all this, President Trump did get it done. Jobs created, manufacturing repatriated, earnings up, inequality down, borders strengthened, the military rebuilt, judges appointed, China confronted, ISIS defeated, peace deals completed, on and on, one after another, promises delivered, and all in line with those simple themes. America first, fighting for the forgotten man and woman. But as we've said many times, the establishment don't care about results for real Americans. They just hate Trump and his movement. As we saw this week with Biden's aide, who branded Republicans a bunch of effers. That's what they really think of you. You're still deplorable, and they're still insufferable. They don't want unity, they want submission, and we must never give in to them. Look at their arrogance over this election. They make massive, late changes to the voting system. Nothing to do with the virus. All of it in Pelosi's notorious H.R. 1, all pushed through unconstitutionally, all designed to favor Democrats, all predicted by independent experts and their own Jimmy Carter to cause fraud and error. And now, when legitimate questions are raised, they tell you to shut up and move on. No, never. Not until election integrity is restored. And in the meantime, as we see the lengths they'll go to get their power back, we must realize what we're up against. This is a zombie establishment, the undead establishment. They just keep on coming, whatever we do, however we vote. How do you kill a zombie? Decapitation is considered the safest technique. And that's what we have to do to America's establishment. Cut off the source of their power, the rigged system they've built for themselves. The other week, we introduced our rules for populists, our positive alternative to rules for radicals. Tonight, let's explore them in a bit more detail. Rule number 1, break up big government. Government has become too big and too centralized for the people to control. Federal departments and agencies are a magnet for the leeches and lobbyists in Washington. They must be broken up and power returned to the people, as the Constitution demands in the 10th Amendment. Let's remind ourselves what it says. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states, respectively, or to the people. As I've argued before, you can't reform the federal government, you have to reduce it. Let's honor the 10th. Close down everything except defense, treasury, state, and justice. Sell the buildings, fire the bureaucrats. The central civil service should be reduced to 1/10 of its size. Rule number 2, break up big business. Big government goes hand in hand with big business. The scale is the problem. It's big business that causes corruption. Small business can't afford the lawyers and lobbyists to get their own way. It's big business that causes wage stagnation. The less competition there is, the less employers need to raise wages and benefits to attract workers. And it's big business that causes inequality. The bigger your scale, the bigger your revenues, the more you can afford to pay your top executives. Silicon Valley knows this. Their defining principle is monopoly. They push this even as it contradicts their political philosophy. Here's LinkedIn founder Reid Hoffman, one of the biggest funders of the Democrats and progressive causes. I know him well. He invested in my company, and I hugely appreciate everything he's done for me. But he literally has a book called Blitz Scaling and a podcast called Masters of Scale. He pushes Democrats who rail against inequality, but his business philosophy causes it. We have to break up big business, not just Facebook, as we saw with that long overdue lawsuit, but all of them. It's time to do this properly, not random lawsuits that depend on the whims of regulators and which the corporations can drag out for years, but changing the law to stop the concentration of power. Treat it like the tax system with simple defined rates. So if you have over 50% of a market, you're considered a monopoly and are automatically broken up. Rule number 3, the establishment's power is the swamp. The dinners, the drinks, the revolving door between business and government, this is what they really care about, and they close ranks against outsiders. It's fine for them to go into government and get rich, like the Clintons, but if you're already successful and go into government, like the Trumps, they try and kill you. Look how they're still hounding Ivanka over the discounts at the Trump Hotel during her father's inauguration. But Biden's son spends years selling access to the vice president, and that's totally fine. This is the sickness at the heart of our system. Insiders abusing their positions for private gain against the public interest. This is the business model of the swamp. That's why this Hunter Biden probe is not enough. It can too easily be shut down. Conservatives argue against special counsels because they end up throwing the net too wide. But that's exactly what we need in this case. We need not just a fishing expedition, but a giant trawl to uncover the workings of the swamp so we can blow the whole thing out of its disgusting, mucky water. Even a special counsel isn't enough. We need Watergate-style Senate hearings to expose the swamp and advance anti-corruption reforms. That's just the start. We'll have more rules for populists in the weeks and months ahead, but here's the point we need to remember. When the establishment tells you who they are, believe them. They have shown this year that they'll stop at nothing to keep their power and privilege and crush the working Americans they contemptuously dismiss. We need to fight back. We need to strike at the heart of their power. We need to show that the next revolution is just getting started.